I found out my brother got married because Facebook shoved the photos in my face. 200 smiling guests, our parents beaming. The lake house lit up like a movie set, and not one of them bothered to invite me. Funny thing is, a few months later, I billed them for the venue they used. I was 33 and still dumb enough to think we drifted meant we're fine. We weren't fighting, we weren't estranged, we just weren't convenient. My brother was the golden child with the corporate job. I was the freelance web guy. My mom called talented right before asking if I'd ever try something stable. I kept scrolling, hoping it was a mistake. There was no mistake. No seat with my name, no group text, no awkward call. Just my family, celebrating without me like I'd already died. 4 days later, my dad finally texted, "Your brother is heartbroken you didn't reach out. Not, we're sorry you weren't invited. Not, we messed up. Just blame," wrapped in a sad face bow. Then I saw the photo that explained everything. First, I zoomed in on the bride's face. Then I felt my throat lock. Next, I recognized her smile from 3 years of my life. Then I saw my brother's hand at her waist, comfortable. After that, I noticed my mom laughing beside them. Again, my name wasn't anywhere near that frame. Then the room went quiet, even with my fridge humming. Finally, it all clicked. My ex wasn't a guest. She was the bride. I dated her almost 3 years. She was the first woman I brought home. 18 months earlier, she dumped me with the classic, "I need space." Quiet tears, promises to stay civil, all that. Meanwhile, she'd apparently found space in my brother's arms, and my parents helped set up the furniture. I called my best friend and said, "Tell me I'm not hallucinating." He went, "Wait, he married her? And you weren't invited?" Yeah, that's the part people try to skip over. Like it's just awkward. It wasn't awkward. It was planned. A week later, my brother finally called. All sunshine like we were catching up. "Hey man, honeymoon planning's been chaos." I said, "How long?" Silence. "Almost a year," he admitted. I reminded him of the rent I'd covered when he got fired, the resume I rewrote, the favors I did without keeping score. He mumbled, "We didn't want to hurt you." I said, "You just didn't want to deal with me," and hung up. I disappeared for a while. Not dramatic, just gone. Less calls, fewer replies, more work. I rebuilt my portfolio, landed a bigger contract, started sleeping like a person again. Therapy helped too, mostly because someone finally said, "You're not crazy. This is a pattern." That's when I opened an old shared family drive I'd set up years ago. Dad had never removed my access. Buried in the spreadsheets was a folder labeled Lake House. I clicked and my stomach did that slow roll. Catering invoices, tent rentals, security, dock repairs, all for the wedding, paid from the family account. Here's the fun part, my name was still on the trust paperwork. I technically co-owned that property. They threw a $40,000 wedding on an asset tied to me, then acted shocked. I didn't clap from the sidelines, so I called my lawyer, not to scream, to get options. She said, "You can demand records, reimbursement, and a buyout." I said, "Write it." The letter was polite and deadly. Reimburse half the wedding and renovation expenses, or buy my share at market value. If they refused, I'd force a sale. My mom called, voice trembling like I'd broken her favorite vase. "You'd sell the family lake house over this?" I said, "You already did. You just forgot to tell me." They tried lowball offers. They tried guilt. They tried claiming I'd verbally given up my share. I had receipts, audit, valuation, certified mail. In the end, I filed to force the sale. The listing went up with glossy photos of the newly upgraded dock, the same dock they toasted on while pretending I didn't exist. The house sold fast. A clean wire hit my account. Legal, final. A week later, my brother left a voicemail. This got out of hand. No, it finally got into the light. Last I heard, they downsized and stopped talking about future events. I bought a condo downtown, kept building my career, and blocked my ex when she sent a weak little, "I'm sorry." She didn't deserve another conversation, let alone forgiveness. So yeah, I wasn't invited to the wedding, but I sure as hell got paid for it. Tell me in the comments what you would have done, let it slide, or cash the check and change the locks.